Another one, folks. Video here. Trump now wants to. This is how he's gonna do it: deport American citizens. That's why they wanted to get rid of the 14th Amendment. But here's another way now. You can do it by, if you commit a crime, now he wants to deport you. And this is illegal, but they're gonna try and do this. Pacman explains this.
Seeing another new trade war, this time with Taiwan, during his appearance at Doral, Florida. Donald Trump also announced, this sounds crazy, because it is, the deportation of American citizens. Donald Trump says that he wants to start incarcerating Americans in other countries for a fee. Take a listen to this one.
They even break into apartments and rape elderly women and beat up elderly men, beat them to hell. And I don't want these violent repeat offenders in our country any more than I want illegal aliens from other countries who misbehave. And I say, and this is subject...
Yeah, but they're American citizens. They should be incarcerated here. This is illegal, folks. Definitely illegal. But he's gonna bribe the other countries to take in the criminals from America. And then some have accepted this. This is crazy. Not even if you're a criminal. Even if you're suspected, they could do that. They're gonna do that. They're gonna try and do that. I mean, there's no trial, no nothing. You just send you off to another country. That's what they want to do, folks. They put you in Guantanamo Bay. They'll deport you to another country, to another jail. It's crazy.
To getting it approved, but if they've been arrested many, many times, they're repeat offenders by many numbers.
I said they're repeat offenders. Yeah, but that could mean that could be a non-violent crime. We saying that now? I don't think they're saying that we repeat offenders, but you know this guy hates, and it's gonna be mostly the black people he's talking about. You know that. It's gonna be how about his people that he let loose? He pardoned. Those are repeat offenders. The guy from the January 6th, one of them, a couple of them, they did something. They assaulted a woman or something. They committed some other crimes. They're also repeat. So they should send them off too then. But they're pardoned, I guess, so you can't. But they're white, maybe. So maybe you're not gonna do that. What he really means is repeat black offenders. I know that. Or people on the left. People on the left. Black and brown. That's what he really means. So if they're on his side, they're not going to do that. Somehow they'll figure it out. They're not going to do that, probably, most likely. I mean, it would be people on the left, or people in a minority, in a minority community. It would be a minority. You would try to deport American citizens. He would try and deport people like minorities. Or people on the left, most likely.
Them out of our country. I also will be seeking permission to do so. We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country along with others. Let them be brought to a foreign land and maintained by others for a very small fee, as opposed to be maintained in our jails for massive amounts of money, including the private prison companies that charge us a fortune. Let them be brought out of our country and let them live there for a while. Let's see how they like it.
So there are a number of problems with this, not the least of which is that Donald Trump is increasingly doing and threatening to do that.
And I thought jail was supposed to be for rehabilitation rehabilitation, right? They go to prison, they get rehabilitated, become a better citizen. Now you put you in jail and then they'll send you off to another country. How's that? You rot in their jail. I guess they're supposed to be better than others. The so-called countries you call shithole. I don't know well, he's doing this, he's contacting third world countries. And then some of them agree to it. Apparently. Well, their laws are terrible. I mean, so I guess the prison laws, I guess. So he's gonna do that. So what about justice fair trial? And how about rehabilitation? I mean, that's what it's supposed to be for, right? Prisons. The ones that can't be, you just lock them up, like for life, or you want to execute them. But you want to save money, but you're not. You're spending, so you're not saving money. Or most likely, you're paying money to get. I mean, for them to keep your prisoners in their jails. So you're paying money to them. So you're still spending money. You're still spending money anyways. So how much you're gonna save in the end? You're still spending money.
That which he wants to punish other countries for doing. You'll remember that at his Vegas rally over the weekend, Donald Trump said something like, the audacity of these countries to empty their prisons into our country. And of course, what Donald Trump is doing now is taking detainees here and just emptying them out into other.
Yep, it's projected. That's what he's doing. Oh, Lord. He actually believes that. The other countries are sending, emptying out the prison system. Oh, well, he gets it from Alex Jones. I mean, he watches Alex Jones also. So he must be getting it from him. And that's a guy's a CIA plant. Or somehow deep state plant. Anyways.
Other countries. Further, Donald Trump is now saying, well, we're now talking about potentially even citizens here, sending them to other countries. Yes, it's cruel. That's kind of the point. That's the point with a lot of these ideas. But it also is completely dubious legally. And we lack all infrastructure, legally speaking, to do something like this. But that has never stopped Trump in the past. And we have a situation right now where the level of cult among this guy's followers is so extreme that they will just go along with everything. You know, one of the things we learned when folks like Luke Beasley and Adam Mockler and others go to the Trump rallies and they interview these folks is that they will accept and defend just about anything if they believe that it has Trump's seal of approval. And even things that don't really have Trump's seal of approval if you tell them that they do. And so I'm sure they love this crap, but it is just a completely wacky idea. Trump also kind of rambling sort of incoherently during this speech, talking about people on a plane and the movie Con Air and a lot of weird stuff. Take a look at this.
300 people sitting in a plane, every one of them either a murderer, a drug lord, a kingpin of some kind, the head of the mob, or a gang member. And you're flying that plane, it's not going to end well. You ever see the movie Con Air? That's what, yeah, except here's the difference. The people in Con Air were actors. They weren't nearly as tough as these guys. I would say that plane would be gone before it ever left. Those pilots would be gone before it ever left. So they don't want us to shackle them. I don't want to be in that plane.
So just if you for a second were optimistic or hopeful that Donald Trump was not going to do this sort of thing anymore, because remember, he's a changed man. He's ready to unite. He's ready to govern this second term. That's not happening. And he is doing the exact same stuff. And finally, Trump still seems confused between insane asylums, so-called, and requesting political asylum. Check this out.
I always felt the border was first because I felt that people could really understand that you can't have people pouring in from the prisons all over the world and from mental institutions all over the world
This is
into our country.
outright lie. And people don't say nothing about this. Or maybe they know this is a lie, maybe that they don't really say anything. The media doesn't say, that's what I mean, people. The media, the news media doesn't say anything about this. Where's the actual proof of that? Mr. President, where are your proof of this happening? People are sending, and then the countries are sending fundamental institutions of other countries and they're coming to America. Where's the proof? I mean, he's not being challenged by this. I guess it's so ridiculous that nobody is gonna check him on this. This is totally lie, outright lie, folks. I don't have to check it. I know this is a lie.
Okay, so I talked about that much more so than I did inflation. I mean, inflation was terrible. It was the worst. I think it was the worst in the history of our country.
This is one of the most sort of humiliating. This is one of the most humiliating little details of the last couple of years of Trump. We have been wondering for a while, and we were wondering during the campaign, why does the guy keep bringing up Hannibal Lecter? Hannibal Lecter, the fictional character, of course, played by Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. And I believe we figured it out, which is Donald Trump has been confused between the concept of a, quote, insane asylum, what we might call a psychiatric hospital, and people who request political asylum. He seems asylum confused to a great degree. And I think that's what this has been all about, the Hannibal Lecter stuff. And he's completely confused about it and continues to be. Apparently no one corrects him, and that's where we end up. So while we are battling the bad policy ideas and the trade wars of Trump, which will absolutely continue during this second term, we are unfortunately going to have to keep contending with the nonsense confusion that he seems to be experiencing. One guy that he's pushing away from it is Elon Musk. I want to talk about that after this short break.
Anyways, folks, that's it for this, folks. So Trump is this is 11 days ago. So he might have started this already. They might be picking up. I'm not sure. I think they're trying to talk to countries already, and some have agreed to this, but they're gonna deport basically American criminals. But it's gonna go beyond that. It could be American I mean, it could be his enemies. He might deport Trump's enemies, or even if you're suspected of a crime, they might do something like that. They just deport you. Or protesters. Think about this: you protest, and you get charged, whatever. You say not dangerous criminal, like murderers or whatever. Well, people are not going to be, they're going to agree with that, people. Most people might probably agree with that, even though it's unconstitutional. But they'll agree with that, but it could be like protesters or whatever. I mean, petty crimes. Okay, vandalism. Petty crimes, misdemeanor. Property crimes. So they could just deport you, and they probably won't be it won't be any white folks. It might be free, but mostly it's gonna be black folks. He's gonna be doing this mostly. With the criminal justice system, look at down there. The most affected is most people are in jail. Well, mostly white people are in jail, but the proportions. Based on the population, like the black people are more, black and brown people or black people are more in jail. They're mostly jailed in the U.S. And because they're convicted of crimes that some, like white people, may not be convicted of. Like that's what the same crime too. I mean, they're convicted of. They're both convicted. No, the one's convicted of the same crime the other one does, and the other one's not convicted. Whereas a different he has lesser sentence than the other one. It's the same crime. It's like with the drugs, with the cocaine. That's what happened. Crack cocaine and powdered. The same thing, but the crack cocaine got more black people. There's a harder sentence for that. I think they changed that. Or it's still there. They kind of changed that. Obama changed it a bit. But still there's I don't know if Biden changed it. Because I think Trump changed it back actually. I'm thinking if Trump changed it when he came in the first time. To make it more, the different sentences, to make it the same. The same amount of time with, if you do crack, then you do cocaine, the same amount of sentences, same time. And that's what Biden did. But Trump maybe changed it. I think he changed it back from Trump. Obama changed it. I think Biden made it the same. So you serve the same amount of time if you do crack. With someone who does coke. So I think it's the same amount of time. I should have checked it, but I'm not going to check it. But now maybe Trump's going to change it back on Obama. See, they changed it, but we still have disparity. Obama didn't change it, right? He changed it so it's less, so it's not much of a difference. But I think somebody said Biden changed it. So it's the same amount of time. The sentences are the same amount of time. With the same punishment. Because there was a disparity. Big difference. But yeah, folks. So he's gonna put people in. I guess Guantanamo Bay is gonna put Americans too there. So why it makes sense? He's gonna run out of. Well, he doesn't have to. I guess he's deport them from the prisons directly. I guess to the whatever country. I don't know. Where he's gonna round up criminals there in Guantanamo too, probably. I mean, then eventually, that might happen because they have, like, how many countries are gonna agree to this? Right now it's only a few, so maybe they might. You're gonna see prison immigrants, illegals in Guantanamo, and criminals, the so-called criminals. So I don't know if they even convicted criminals. You said they're convicted criminals. What's gonna happen is they're gonna do people who don't like, maybe most likely brown people. They're alleged criminals. Allegedly, you're gonna see them there at Guantanamo. And some might even be just deported. I mean, what if they commit murder, heinous crime like that, and they just put them there, and then they decide to just deport them? There's no trial though. They're waiting for a trial. They decide to just deport them. I know these. See, I won't put it past these people to do that. Anyways, folks, I'm in this video, and I talked long enough. I'm out. What do you think about this? Comment if you want.